conversation. Hello, everyone.
Excellent. Hello.
Hello. It's Peter and Jake here from Auroch Digital. We are streaming again today, as we did last week. Last week we did Last Days of Old Earth.
We did.
Went through the campaign. This week we've hopefully improved the audio quality, so there should be all sorts of nicer sounds coming out of this. We'll be continuing to improve it based on your feedback, and we also are playing a different game. We're playing Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night.
We are indeed.
And because, so I'm sure people have heard of Chainsaw Warrior, but if you haven't, it is a Games Workshop game. The original was 1989?
Something, yeah, late 80s.
Yeah, something like that. And it was a single-player card game, and we adapted it for the original Chainsaw Warrior, and we also made a follow-up, Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night. And if you have been on top of the ChainsawWarrior.net blog, you will have seen that we've been running a competition recently in which you write beautiful Japanese poetry, or haiku, and then in return, if you're one of the winners, then you get an amazing prize which we gave away, which was a really beautiful art print.
Yeah, it was a 30-inch by 20-inch canvas print of the second edition Warhammer box cover, which got sent off today, in fact.
Amazing. So that's winging its way to the winner. So that competition's now over, and we've announced winners and stuff like that. But what we wanted to do, we've got it on a piece of paper. What we wanted to do is we wanted to play Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night, and at the same time, we're going to read some of the poems.
Some of the many.
I'm looking through all of these. These are absolutely fantastic. So yes, we are going to be doing that, and we're also going to be giving away a code for Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night at the end of the stream as well.
We are indeed.
So if you want to win one of those codes and you're an early watcher right now, then all you need to do is jump into the chat right now and say hello to us and get involved in the chat. We're going to be picking one random winner from the chat list, and yeah, I'm going to read these out while we play.
Okay, excellent. So, I guess we should get started.
Yeah, why not? Let's get cracking.
Okay, let's do it. So we'll start with a new game.
So what are the different difficulty levels?
So on normal, you are able to pick all of your weaponry and devices and gear for the playthrough, and so yeah, none of it's hidden. Whereas in hard and classic mode, you basically have to take apart. You choose a generic weapon, a generic or however many generic devices and items of clothing, that kind of thing. Right. And you just have to see what you get given, which I quite like the idea of.
Okay, well,
should we go with that?
Okay, because it's a tough game.
It is indeed,
and we're going to make it really tough.
Yeah.
Right. Good. All right.
I think so.
Let's do it. Let's find out how long we can survive on this.
As a little bit of fun in the chat as well, if you want to predict how I will die or how this playthrough will wrap up, then yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we want to know. So if you're a Chainsaw Warrior fan, then figure out how Jake is going to get brutally murdered. Unless, of course, you get to the end, in which case I'll be thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So, in classic mode, your attributes are assigned at random, and you won't be able to see which equipment you're selecting. Good luck, warrior. So let's go. Okay,
so where are we at with numbers? What do we want from this?
That really isn't a bad start. Apart from our ranged, which is 8, we'll struggle a little bit with long-ranged combat. But so I guess it can't hurt to get a hand-to-hand in there. Our hand-to-hand's quite strong, 11. So we'll maybe take 2 hand-to-hand weapons.
And what's that do? That's like bringing in like different weapons and so forth?
Yeah, exactly. So this will be one of... So there'll be a few different hand-to-hand weapons. Well, there's 6 hand-to-hand weapons. 5. Can't count. And so yeah, we'll be assigned any of those randomly from those 2. And then and you can see here as well. So each hand-to-hand takes up one of your your slots. So you have 6 equipment points here, which we've used 2 on hand-to-hand. So if we wanted to use another 2, which I think we will, we'll take a primary gun.
Okay.
And now, because we only have 2 equipment points left, we can't pick a heavy weapon, but that's cool.
Okay.
And we'll take 2 devices, I think.
And what did devices do?
There's things like the metal detector, which help with, so if you come across like mines or something like that, you can counteract that kind of thing. Or there's also devices which can help you get through the map quicker, things like a jetpack or that kind of thing. So let's see what we get given. And we can't pick any armour, but that's cool.
We don't need armour.
We've got 16 wounds to roll, so I think we should be okay.
Okay. Bold.
So, legend has it that 4 ages before ours, each ended in a great catastrophe.
Now this takes place after the original Chainsaw Warrior, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So which obviously wasn't really obviously the original Chainsaw Warrior comes out and does creates the story that it creates. This is kind of a new story basically.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. So the first game that we made, that was a direct adaptation of the 80s board game, and this is kind of expanding on the lore. So set in kind of a Central American setting. It's all very kind of Aztec-y and pretty. Very nice.
I'm going to here we go. So I'm going to start reading some of this poetry.
Excellent.
And I'm going to put on my best sort of Shakespearean voice here, I think. Well, that's particularly appropriate for this. But dystopian world, seek the darkness in the slums. Time is running out. That's Pollyanna Jones.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, really captures the essence of what we're going for.
Absolutely. I love the fact that we've run a haiku competition for a game about ultimately a man with a chainsaw running in and killing like chaotic darkness beasts. Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so what did we get? So So we've got a Geiger counter that detects sources of radiation, allows us to move around those sources of radiation, usable only after we detect a radioactive warming. And then we've got anti-rad pills as well, so we aren't under any immediate threat from radiation, which is cool, because that's quite often a source of my many deaths on this game.
Right, okay.
We've also been given the katana, which has it gives you a hand-to-hand rating of +1, and it also has armor piercing.
Now the katana's essentially is a totally new item, isn't it? So that katana was the item that we added in the previous competition.
Yeah, we ran a competition the end of last year, I think, and that was a card entry competition. So if anyone had anything that they thought would kind of benefit the gameplay or anything like that, then they could submit them. So we picked the katana, which was a weapon, and we also we might come across it in this playthrough.
Okay.
But there's a kind of environmental card as well, which is it's cool. We've also got our trusty fists,
yes,
the ever reliable laser lance to smite down darkness when the time comes, and our cyber neural electron scrambler, a high risk experimental weapon that scrambles the component atoms of its target. However, that comes at a heavy price to the user. Destroy any enemy, but take d6 wounds.
Ugh.
So
grim.
Yeah, it's kind of a last chance saloon one, that.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get started. And we have the standard blaster.
Let's talk about some of the weapons. Wielder of steel death, brutality incarnate, chainsaw warrior.
Brilliant.
Isn't that brilliant? Matt Larlam gave us that one. I think that's fantastic. Oh my word. There are so many good ones in here. I will read out the winner right at the end, absolutely. But
so we are left at the edge of a thick jungle and pointed in the right direction. I can't see far through the dense undergrowth and towering trees, but you're pretty sure it's not going to be a walk in the park. Never is.
No, it's a walk in the jungle.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
So let's get started. What we got? We have a Mooncult Guard. So they're a ranged unit.
Okay.
So they have -2 power in hand-to-hand combat. So what we can do is charge. So we'll need to roll. So they roll 5, and I think So because our reflexes are 11, that gets added onto their reflex. So we only had to roll 3.
Cool.
For a successful charge.
Marvelous.
So let's smite him down with a katana.
Here we go.
Shing. Easy.
Nice. Easy.
Great start. Cool.
So as we're going through the jungle deck, essentially what we're doing is pulling out decks and going, right, okay, so this is actually what you're up against next. You're taking on the role of the Chainsaw Warrior, and as you move through the deck of cards, you're essentially coming up against bad guys. It's like it's almost like a dungeon run in some ways.
Yeah, sort of an almost make your own adventure. So you shuffle. You imagine if it was a physical card game, you'd shuffle the deck, and then it would be made up of a fixed amount of units. Well, not really units. Yeah, enemies, and things like clearings and that kind of thing. So we can take this opportunity to safely use items or reload, but we don't have any items to use here.
And we don't need to.
And we don't need to reload, so we will plough ahead.
We're also against the clock, right? So in the top left-hand corner, you'll see that there's 58 minutes and 30 seconds. You only have 60 minutes to save the world.
That's it, yeah. And kind of each card represents 30 seconds.
Right.
And there's three decks to get through. So we go through the jungle first of all, and as you'll see as we proceed, there's then the Lost City and the Pyramid. So we've got a swamp now. We need to cross the swamp. It will take time, so we lose d6 rounds. Oh, and we roll a 5. And get attacked by 4 crocodiles.
Smashing. Okay.
Brilliant.
So now we have to go through the same process, right? We can choose to evade them, or like melee combat, or use an item.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we have anti-crocodile repellent?
Unfortunately not. No, that's another thing. Why did no one suggest that in our card entry competition? You could have saved my skin here.
We'll have to do another one.
So because this has ambush, it moves straight into melee combat. There's no chance of ranged. So we could use that Cena's, but it's probably a little bit too soon to be using that.
Yeah.
So we will try again with the katana, which, remember, perfect.
So that is a weak crocodile.
Yeah, it is indeed. We'll see how his brothers are doing.
Okay. So if you're just joining us on the stream, hello, this is Auroch Digital. This is Jake, and I'm Peter, and we are playing through Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night at the moment. We're also reading poetry. Guide to Life's Exit, Singer of Glorious Death, Rend until time's end.
Rend is a great word. We were talking about this with Danny earlier. Rend.
You don't hear rend enough.
I know, no. It's because not enough people are wielding chainsaws.
It's true. Not enough people are wielding chainsaws. That basically is the ultimate social message that I think that you can take from this game. If you're going to go into the jungle and potentially go and fight Darkness Incarnate, take a chainsaw.
Exactly. Although
I would
also recommend, if you are going to go and fight Darkness in the jungle, bring your laser lance.
Yeah, also take a laser lance. Yeah, that's the main thing.
So we managed to get through that swarm of crocodiles worryingly easily. Easily.
And we're playing on classic, right?
This is on classic mode, yeah.
So that's quite hard.
Yes.
This is quite hard, or it's meant to be.
It's meant to be quite hard.
So
we as you might have missed if you've just joined us in the stream, but we did start off with some pretty good stats to get us started. So we'll have to see how things advance from here. But
absolutely. As I say though, if you are just joining us at the moment, then hello, and we are reading out poetry. We're playing Chainsaw Warrior, and we're going to be giving away a code to one person in the chat who says hello and chats and hangs out with some of the people in the stream today. So we're going to be picking a random viewer, so say hello, and we'll chuck it into the Computron 3000 at the very end and find out
3000. We've had the upgrade.
3000 without the upgrade, yeah, so it's a little bit faster now. We will be winning, potentially winning a Steam code for Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night.
Amazing. Okay, so this unit, the crawler, does have the ambush, a mutilated zombie that can't even stand. You don't notice it until it grabs you from underfoot. However, we have the stealth ability. So each time we face an enemy, we have a chance to bypass it, and also it negates ambush.
Okay.
Which is awesome. So we will pop a cap in him.
Yep.
Or we perhaps won't. So we miss there, and now we're in melee. So we'll draw the katana.
Fiend on a Stick is asking, does Batman's shark repellent work on crocodiles?
Unfortunately not. We couldn't. We did speak to Batman, but no, he was having none of it.
Yeah, 1960s Batman is having absolutely none of it. Have you ever seen the episode where they actually add shark repellent?
I've seen the clip. And it's just amazingly
it's
terrible.
So good. Everything is labelled Batman something.
Yeah.
It's like Batman Library.
Yeah, the Bat Library,
Batman
the Bat
Bunch.
something. Yeah, it's great.
It's terrible.
Okay, we're having some pretty bad luck against this crawler. So this is more like the
Oh my word! So the red dice represent the bad guys.
Yeah.
And the blue dice represent us.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we did pretty badly there.
Yeah, so we've taken 2 wounds and 2 radiation venom damage. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the zombies deal venom damage, and that kind of if your venom resistance goes down to 0, then you are transformed into a zombie. A chainsaw wielding zombie.
Oh yeah, which is the better of the zombies, really.
Maximum rad levels.
Oh my word.
So now we have a magnetic field, so that disables all of our electronic equipment for 2d6 rounds. So,
okay. So we
hope for a blessing from the RNG gods.
6. Okay, so 6 rounds. We can't use any electrical equipment.
Exactly. So that disables our blaster. So yeah, what we have against now, we've got a poisoner. So each successful hit reduces my hand-to-hand, my marksmanship, and my reflex by 3 for up to 12 rounds. So pretty nasty.
Okay.
So as you can see, my blaster apparently isn't electronic. That's cool. My laser lance is disabled. But,
right. Okay.
Yeah, but my blaster.
So your blaster's fine.
Yeah, we're going analog apparently.
Yep.
So yeah, let's.
Okay. Is that enough?
Oh,
That's enough. That's enough.
Cool. So he's been left with a big hole in him, and we proceed. Right. So now we're at a river crossing.
Yep.
The only way ahead is to wade across a fast-flowing river. So we roll a d6. On a 1, we face the really quite horrible zombie crocodile. On a 2 to 4, we face the normal crocodile, and on a 5 or a 6, we're safe.
We're going for 5 and 6 really now, aren't we?
Ideally, but we'll have to see about that. Oh, there it is.
Nice. Luck is holding through now.
Indeed.
Okay.
But you'll find with Chainsaw Warrior, if you're having a lucky kind of couple of minutes, that tends to mean it'll come back and bite you.
Yeah.
Oh, things are just getting better and better. So we have an airdrop.
Okay. Oh my word. So, Luke Roberts here with basically what I think this kind of encapsulates the game perfectly. So one of his poetry entry here for our competition that we ran.
Absolutely.
Chainsaws are awesome. Chainsaws are very awesome. Chainsaws are awesome.
There you go. Straight to the point. I like it.
Beautiful.
It's blunt.
I'm tearing up a bit actually. Yeah, no, fantastic. Good entry there, I would say, for our competition. Not the winner, but a very good runner-up, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got an airdrop now. We get to pick up 3 points of equipment, 3 items. And if we had lost the laser lance at this point, it replaces it automatically because we need that to fight darkness. So let's see what we've got. So we can take an extra clip potentially for our blaster, but that does have quite a lot of ammunition, so we may potentially not need that.
Okay.
We're pretty well protected against radiation so far with the Geiger counter and anti-rad pills, so I wouldn't say we need the rad fiber suit. The heat detector, that protects you. There's an enemy called the Lunatic, and he has the ambush ability, so he sneaks up on you and takes any item, any random item off you, and destroys it in front of your very eyes, and runs off laughing like a maniac.
Right.
So we could take that, but he's not. We're far from guaranteed to see him if we run. So
right.
And what we don't have at the moment is a weapon with the spread ability. So that can hit multiple enemies at once. So
what do we want to take?
I think at this point there's every chance that we will receive another airdrop before we get to the pyramid, because in the pyramid you don't get airdrops. So I think we take the flamethrower for now.
Okay.
It would have meant if when we'd come across those 4 crocodiles, we could have made some pretty tasty crocodile soup.
Yep.
So I think we're going to go for that. It does use all 3 of our equipment points for this airdrop, but I think we just go for it because we don't have a heavy weapon yet.
Yep.
So now we are stacked to the teeth.
Nice.
And we proceed. So now we've come across some razor wire. It takes 1d6 rounds to pick your way through them, and there's a chance that zombies will appear while I am delayed. This could potentially be nasty, and we've already had a few hindrances with the time, so that's worth keeping an eye on.
So we're now down to 47 minutes of time.
Ouch. And attacked by 2 zombies, but we do now have the flamethrower, which has the spread, so we can attack them both at once.
Yeah.
So let's go range.
Let's do it.
Let's go flamethrower, and let's make.
They're going to die.
Zombie kebabs.
Nicely done.
Sweet. We march on. So now.
Right, so we've sauntered into a minefield.
Yeah. Chainsaw Warrior quite often takes the scenic route. Which
Yeah. There's a tower in the background. Just keep wandering around. It's fine.
Yep. So we need to roll under our reflex -2 or take d6 damage and risk a random item being destroyed. So our reflexes are 11, so we need to roll 9 or under. So let's go for it. Oh yes, yes, very very nice. Trap avoided, and we proceed. So now we've got a jaguar.
Time, of course. We'll just talk about time. This one's from James Hanlon. This beautiful piece of poetry. Just 60 minutes traversing New York slums. Chainsaw Warrior.
Nice. We had a few of those that ended with the Chainsaw Warrior.
With Chainsaw Warrior.
Yeah, I think it really reinforces the point.
Yeah, it just like nicely sort of loops it out.
Yeah,
right at the
exactly.
end.
Yeah.
It sort of lands gently and nicely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So we've got another pit trap. We have another trap, rather. So you step on a false floor and it collapses. Now we need to roll under our reflex -1. So we need to roll 10 or below to avoid falling in, taking 1 to 3 damage and losing time.
Now these reflex -1, these are only around as long as that card is around, right? It's not actually taking. It's not a permanent hit to your stats.
No. I mean, you could see it as it's taking 1 away from your reflex for this roll,
For this
and
roll.
you need to roll under that, or you could just consider it. You need to roll this amount -1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the same in the end, but yeah, we do, it does. It's not a permanent kind of debuff to your reflexes, which is good. So we'll roll with that. Under 10, and we hit 10. So we lose 5 minutes, and we only lost 1 health, which, I mean, not ideal. But
No, not good. But we can do Moon Cult Lookout.
So,
Mate, come on.
do one. So he again has ranged, so he's a bit of a hot shot. But he's a lookout, so he'll call for backup if we don't attack him directly.
Right.
So that includes even moving into combat, so into melee combat. So if I moved into melee now, he would have time to call up
His mates.
Get
on the phone.
Exactly.
Get him in.
Yeah, and while we do have the flamethrower to attack multiple units at once, I'd rather avoid that.
Yeah.
So let's just. So his marksmanship is 9, ours is 8. So we need to beat his roll by 1. But hey, I'm crazy. So let's just go for it.
Here we go.
Oh, he rolls a 10, so we're hoping for the 11.
Right. So he's shot us.
So we take the damage,
and now his mates are here.
Exactly.
Right, we've done really well then.
Yeah.
Good.
Small wonder I lose this game all the time.
Landon Coolrick Jennings says, "Here I stand alone, next to my fallen brothers. I serve until death." Oh, that's bleak,
It's
isn't it?
very bleak.
But then I suppose that's the world, isn't it? It's not exactly a positive, powerful world. It's more of a sort of like things are quite bad and you're not going to do very well in them.
Exactly that. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a sense of bleakness that comes with this game. So yeah, he's really captured the tone. Now we have an armoured zombie. I absolutely hate these guys. They have 3.
Zombie.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
the artwork's great. I love
it. Yeah.
But they have 3 armour points, so we are going to probably. The best we can hope for is that their armour fails. But in fact, we have the katana, which has armour piercing. Only 1 point of it, but it should aid us somewhat.
Okay.
So he rolls a 5,
That's
and his
not-
hand's 8. So his armour blocked our attack, but was weakened.
Okay.
So
That's good.
It looks like the armour piercing maybe didn't apply there.
Okay. Let's try again.
So
Give it a
we'll
go.
take another swing. So he's rolled a 9 that time. So we need to roll a 6, and we do.
Easy.
And his armour fails. Katana to the face,
Beautiful.
and we march on.
Beautiful. Now, if you are just joining us at the halfway mark in our stream today of Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night, hello. My name is Peter and this is Jake.
Hello.
We are from Auroch Digital and we are streaming Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night, as I say. And we're also reading poetry. Amazing poetry. Like this piece by Clint McKinnon, who says, "My pretty chainsaw, look at the blood so red, sings like an angel." Beautiful. Amazing. This was part of our poetry competition, Haiku, Japanese poetry competition that we ran on chainsawwarrior.net, where we were giving away a beautiful, big old printed frame. Massive thing. We've had it in the office, we've been looking at it, we've been sort of tempted to not give it away. But we've had to, and so we chose a winner. We'll be reading the winner out at the end of this stream, but we're reading out some of the runners-up at the moment, and people who are getting involved in the stream right now, jumping into the chat, talking about jaguars, talking about zombie flambés.
Yeah, I like that. That was from Fiend on a Stick there.
Yeah.
His own little bit of poetry. Succinct.
That's
I like
lovely.
it. But
Yeah, I love it.
Zombie flambé.
Zombie flambé. So people who are in the chat have got a chance of winning a Steam code for Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night. Just get involved in the chat and we'll enter all the names into a random barrel.
Absolutely.
Into our Computron 3000, and we'll pick out a winner at the end of the show.
Definitely.
Yes. So I'm gonna go through these. We've got so many entries for this poetry contest.
I know, it's overwhelming.
It's
really.
amazing. Right. Let's go with. I think so. I think for me, this is the best one from Joe Clippolt.
Okay, yeah, he sent in 3.
He sent in 3, and I think the really intense one, the one I find the most intense, is "We fight savagely, 2-stroke smoke, bloody incense, limbs separated." Now you see, like, Matsuo Basho, the founder of haiku poetry in Japan, really like the person, would never have come up with any of this rubbish.
He would have been hard
This stuff's amazing. His stuff, awful. It's all about lotus trees and enlightenment.
Yeah.
Awful. This one's about chainsaws.
So we've got a sprinting zombie up ahead. It's got quite high reflexes and quite good hand-to-hand.
Right.
However, our hand-to-hand does outstrip his. So I think we'll take him on. We'll go mano a mano with him.
Yeah.
It's quite a good roll.
So we've got Nightbites in the chat who says, "Man, I feel old. I remember the board game coming out for Chainsaw Warrior." Yeah, so we were sort of talking, it's like 80s, I think. Well, certainly the 80s, but late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s. I think 88 or 89.
88, 89. And obviously this is Lords of the Night, which is the follow-up. So it's kind of we did the original adaptation into a video game form, and then this is a sort of new, goes off in a different direction, follow up to it. The Chainsaw Warrior, spoilers, saves New York at the end of Chainsaw Warrior. And in this one, now he's running up against a bunch of sort of strange, I don't know, is this like Mayan, Incan? I guess it's that sort of like
Definitely.
South American culty.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we've come up against so we've got armoured zombies that have their kind of
amazing.
Yeah, there's sort of I don't know whether Mayan or Incan.
Like
I don't want to be
bird armour
insensitive.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it's that sort of period of time of, but obviously taken over by a horrible, chaotic, dark spirit.
Yes.
And influenced by that. So we're going to katana slash a sprinting zombie.
Yeah, we don't have our trusty chainsaw here. I feel kind of like we've let down our haiku entrance.
I know.
So many of them are chainsaw centric.
They are chainsaw centric. But sometimes you can't take the chainsaw into the jungle.
True.
Like you need fuel for a chainsaw, right?
Yes, you do. And don't want to be lugging around a pack of petrol on your back.
Exactly.
So I think Katana Warrior. We're playing Katana Warrior. Lords of the Night.
Yeah. Tara DK says, "Darkness everywhere, no turning back for mankind. Chainsaw Warrior."
Chainsaw Warrior.
Chainsaw Warrior.
Katana Warrior. If you say it like an American,
Katana Warrior.
Yeah, Katana Warrior.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah. Like that. That'd be fine.
We're up against the mutant thing now. So this deals radiation damage upon entering combat.
Yeah.
So we've taken 4.
How are our stats? How are our stats faring? Are we all right?
We're all right, but considering we're still in the first deck, we're kind of only halfway through the first deck.
We've got 2 more decks after this.
We do indeed. The pyramid deck is a little shorter because we can come across darkness kind of at any time.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I'm not sure if we're going to encounter darkness on this playthrough.
Well, we are playing this one hard, so
exactly.
That's our excuse.
If you're going to do something, commit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, we're doing really quite badly.
So this creature may have once been human. It's impossible to tell now.
So warped.
Oof.
Okay, what we're going to do is do a sweet ass combat roll out of there, so that we can hopefully draw the blaster as we roll.
Yeah.
And pop cap.
Yeah.
We'll see how that. Okay, so we're out of. We've successfully dodged out of close combat. We draw the blaster, aim for one of its many mouths, eyes, heads.
Yeah, wherever it's got.
Oh man.
Oh, jeez. Okay, our attack missed. So we're not in combat though, are we? We're not in melee combat.
We now go back into melee combat.
Oh,
it's kind of constantly coming towards you. You kind of picture it like that.
Of course, yeah.
So I guess we will take a swing with the katana. So.
Fiend on the Stick says choppy sword warrior.
I like it.
Yeah, choppy sword.
A little bit difficult to fit into the haiku.
It doesn't quite work in the haiku. No, it's not quite what Basho would have wanted.
No.
But what Basho would have wanted. New York in ruins. My chainsaw and I are one. Darkness, I will hunt. That's Matt Hood. Matt Hood absolutely smashing it with our haiku poetry that we're reading out on this. The question becomes, is this the first ever video game plus haiku mashup on Twitch?
I would like to think so. We're definitely pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, this is the boundary pushing.
Yeah. Okay, this mutant thing really is getting on my nerves. So
Yeah.
we're going to just take another swing at it. He rolls a 5. We should be okay here. We need
Okay.
4 to succeed, and we roll a 7. So,
Okay, beautiful.
yeah. The katana swings true.
The katana's pretty sturdy, actually.
It is, yes. It's been nice.
thank
A little
goodness.
clearing after all of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
Time to just sort of look around the surroundings and
yeah,
see what's
take it
going
all
on.
in.
And, yeah.
Now we have a spitting zombie. This is a zombie with range, so it can attack from a distance and will not move into melee range. However, we can certainly try. The way that it attacks you from range is pretty gross. The zombie's jaw distends and it hurls a stream of reeking bile at you. So we'll try and avoid that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's dodge out of the way of that. I was in Blackpool, and that's something similar to. Anyway, so Caffeine Dreamer in the chat says, "How is this different from the first Chainsaw Warrior game?" Because obviously we've been talking about this is the follow-up and that sort of thing. So I think as a follow-up, this is it's obviously a different setting.
Mm-hmm.
This is you're trying to get to it's like a big pyramid-y temple, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to get to this temple, which your kind of data has pointed you in the direction that that's where darkness is residing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're on the lookout.
Mm-hmm. And like the actual core gameplay, obviously we wanted to translate most of that core gameplay from the original that we worked on.
Yep.
And indeed from the board game itself into card game I suppose, into the original digital version that we did. But it's quite similar in that way. It's like we wanted to do something that had the flavour of the original and very much kept true to its roots, but a new setting and a new kind of
Yeah, definitely. And there were a few new mechanics added, like the
Poison.
Poison
Was Poison in the first one?
Poison was in the first one, but I think it wasn't quite as common. So yes, but the poison is definitely something you can come across in this, and it's a major pain.
Yeah.
But the kind of each deck has a kind of boss, like a sort of mini boss, which is how you proceed to the next deck. And within that, there are also temples, kind of minor temples that you can pass through. And if you beat the Guardian, if you defeat the Guardian, send him back into the Rift.
Yeah.
Then you're blessed. You receive a blessing, and that can aid you in combat. It can either be a passive or an active ability, so it can help. There's ones that kind of you'll get like a health boost from or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, those were added, and there was a ton of new kind of UI stuff. I think this game definitely has improved.
We're also
graphically.
absolutely, yeah, and we're also always adding new bits and pieces of content. We talked about earlier. We added the katana into Chainsaw Warriors and we added the katana. We added an environmental effect, but also an enemy that comes with it.
Yep. Without saying too much, because we may well come across that in the
find
pyramid.
it. We recently added some new achievements and some other bits and pieces, and kept them updated and that sort of thing. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of where we're at with this sort of stuff. Nightbite says, how about these four? I think these are poems. So let's go with these. There's no line break in Twitch chat. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'll do my best to read these out. So cough, buzz, growl. What is that? Starting. Cough, buzz, growl, starting. Visceral life and death in hand. Chainsaw cuts my foes.
Nice.
That is not bad, actually. That is not bad at all. That is a lovely poem in the chat right there. And another lovely poem. Let's go with another quick lovely poem.
Gonna keep swinging with the katana. We've got another crocodile.
Here we go.
And we can't miss. These crocodiles are actually proving deceptively easy.
Yeah, crocodile. Who cares about crocodiles? They're easy.
I bet it'll be the zombie crocodile.
It'll be the zombie crocodile that
Yeah.
gets us. Yeah. Let's have a quick look.
This is a pretty unintimidating crawler with 6 hand-to-hands.
Now this one I think so obviously it is haiku, but I think that this is more of a sort of like forward-looking. This is kind of an experimental haiku here from Jedediah Obery, who says. Brum brum brum, brr 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 brr, wah ah 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 ah. Yeah. That works. There we are.
Nice.
That works. No, that's very nice, and it's slightly more. I would say this is more sort of like a nicely, more sort of in the line of what some of the haiku masters would have wanted. Although that was pretty good. We got Tom Taylor who writes, "Nightfall's creeping in. Fear covers all but the slain. What's left is despair."
Oof. That was actually one of my favourites.
That was one of my favourites as well.
It's shockingly bleak, but yeah, great.
Yeah,
really, really captures the essence.
Beautiful stuff. So, as I say, this is part of our competition that we've been running on chainsawwarrior.net. Head over there and go to the blog, and you'll see all of the winners and also the prize that the winner won. We'll read the actual winning poem out at the end of this. But yes, we've been running that. And we're also running a competition today where if you are getting involved in the chat, I'm pointing towards the screen you can't see, but we can see a lovely big chat with all sorts of lovely conversations going on right now. Basically, if you get involved in the chat, we'll chuck your name into the big Comptron 3000, and there is a Steam code available to win at the end of this stream for one of the viewers that gets involved in the chat.
There is indeed, yeah. I've just had Irony come back to
right. So the crocodile's now battering us.
Yes. Yeah. So I won't. Let's not speak too soon. Battering. Okay, there we go.
Okay. It's gone now. It's fine.
Sweet justice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we come across another trap. So as you can see, we are 29 minutes into our 60-minute run, and we aren't out of the first deck yet, so we're going to have to really get a move on in the second and third. Roll under our reflex, which we do, so we avoid that trap, luckily, and proceed to the Venom Cloud zombie.
Very nice. Now, Kura 3001 says, "Pray to the RNG god." Yeah, a part of this game is obviously based on that. I would say there is a fair chunk of randomness in there, but it's about mitigating that randomness, isn't it?
Yes. Although, I mean, I do have to say the RNG in this—that's actually who the cultists pray to, the RNG god.
Is that really right? Brilliant.
I wish.
Amazing. Yeah, or at least unofficially, that is.
Yeah,
I would say that's kind of what's happening back
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Stealthy Twitchy says, "Cool game." Yeah, it is. Thank you very much. This is a game that we made. Obviously, we've been doing this. We did this last week. We're doing it this week. Every single day. Every Friday, I would say, at 4:30 p.m. Ignore what's going on at the bottom. Some idiot. I don't know who that would be. Managed to put the wrong time on that. So. But yeah, 4:30 UK every Friday we are streaming live, and next week we're going to be streaming something. We won't say quite what it is just yet, but make sure that you are following us on twitter.com/Auroch Digital and facebook.com/Auroch Digital. We will announce the next game that we're playing. It's not going to be one of ours.
It won't be. No, we're in talks at the moment to have maybe a little guest on the show. We'll update you closer to the time. Yep. But yeah, as Peter says, check out the Twitter and Facebook feeds to keep abreast of that situation.
Very nice.
We may have missed just there. Night has fallen.
Right.
So
okay.
we now have a -1 hand-to-hand penalty.
Yeah, because it's dark.
Because it's dark. Yeah, exactly. And we're still in the jungle. Things are getting a little bit harder to see.
Now we've only got 3 cards left in the jungle.
We do, and one of those will be the Guardian.
Okay.
Of this deck.
Okay.
So that's kind of the boss.
Right.
Our katana saves our skin again.
But we've battered the Venom Clouds zombie there. That's fine.
We have indeed.
So we're now.
So we have a temple now. So this isn't actually the Guardian. There will. So this is an ancient shrine to an unknown god.
Right.
Defeat the powerful enemy within to receive a blessing, or play it safe and continue your mission. So we're doing pretty badly for time, and we're on, and our wounds are getting down there. But we're showing off what this game's about.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Let's just take a big old punch, shall we?
Yeah.
So we enter the temple, and we have the meat machine. So he deals 1 to 3 damage on a hit and permanently reduces a random stat, either our hand-to-hand, our marksmanship, or our reflex, by 1 down to a minimum of 5. And if all of those stats go below 5, he's then a one-shot kill.
Cool.
And he has 14 hand-to-hand combat and 10 reflexes. So he's going to be hard to hit with a melee weapon or a ranged weapon.
Right.
But we're in range, so let's...
What are we going to do?
The blaster or the flamethrower. We get +3 marksmanship with the flamethrower, I forgot to mention that. So that would increase our marksmanship up to 11, and his reflex is only 10, so let's try and cook the meat machine. And naturally...
Wow,
yep.
that went very badly.
He rolls double 6s and I roll snake.
That was basically us rocking up, sort of wandering into the temple, tripping up over a loose cobble, falling flat on our faces, and then the meat machine just kind of...
Yeah, burning ourselves with the flamethrower.
Basically.
As well. Yeah, that was really quite catastrophic. So he's... Oh, that doesn't count as a hit, because we only miss. It's only when you're in melee combat that they have a kind of chance to hit
right,
back, unless they are arranged.
Yeah, so they just sort of like looked, laughed, Was like, I'm the meat machine. Mate.
An eerie giggle. Giggle's definitely the wrong word. Actually,
Eerie giggle. That'd be good.
So we swing with the katana. He only rolls a 3, and we need to roll a 7, which we roll a 6. So that's a draw. So no effect. We don't permanently reduce a stat on that one.
Okay.
So we'll swing with the katana again, and he rolls a 5. So we'll need to roll a 9 and roll an 8.
Just one under as well.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just keep drawing with this guy.
John Webb manages to neatly, succinctly, beautifully sum this up in his haiku that he sent in for the competition we ran. I didn't cheat much, just re-rolled stats now and then. I can't in the app.
Okay, so that's that's a reference to the he's referencing the original board game and then comparing it to our adaptation, which is
beautiful.
Really nice. Really
Nicely done, Mr. Webb. Very nice, lovely bit of Japanese poetry there.
Yeah. So we now have taken -1 reflex because he successfully hit us, and so now we become easier to hit in the future. So yeah, thanks for that, Meat Machine.
Nice, thanks very much for that. Stealthy Twitchy says, I'd like to see you stream Last Days of Old Earth next week. Just started playing it. I would appreciate insightful Auroch strategies. Next week, we've pretty much got something booked, but we will absolutely be streaming Last Days of Old Earth again because we're very proud of it.
Yeah, we have a kind of tentative schedule which we're working towards at the moment, and Last Days of Old Earth will be in there again in the next couple of weeks. So,
deep strategies,
yes.
We're going to be going through some top level stuff. We went through the campaign. At some point, maybe we could get some multiplayer on the go. Maybe get some multiplayer on the go. But yeah,
that's
loads
something
of
that would
stuff
interest you guys. If anyone would like to come on and play the multiplayer with me, then by all means, let me know.
Definitely.
Okay, so this guy's getting harder and harder to hit as we. What did we take that time? -1 hand to hand. So we're pretty useless in hand to hand.
And we've got 27 minutes left to save basically the world.
And it takes 30 seconds to roll away, so it's not that smooth.
Right.
We're not being super. And we take a hit while we roll away there. So yeah, that's pretty. Not.
This
not
is going bad. Oh my word.
11 to succeed. Yeah. Meat Machine. I have nightmares about him.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Daily.
Nightmare.
I wonder if now is perhaps the time to use the
Kness.
Oops, I meant to right click on that and show the stats. That's not how you do that apparently. Whoops. So we cyberneuronically scramble the Meat Machine.
Okay.
As payment for debuffing
being
our
a
stats.
jerk,
So nicely.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we purged the temple of that evil, and we've been blessed by the god of that temple. So we have been blessed with the strength of Tepeyolotl, god of the mountains. So we gain 1 wounds every 5 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
So we were down to 3, so that was a pretty good timing to receive that. And yeah, so in hindsight, that was a terrible idea going into that.
Yeah, that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, and now we're probably going to encounter. So we just take D6 venom damage here because we have come across a venom cloud. A thick cloud of flies suddenly swarms us, clogging our eyes, nose, mouth with infected insects and hungrily feasting on our open wounds, of which we have many.
Yeah.
So yeah, we take D6 venom damage, and knowing my luck, that will be pretty high. Yeah, there we go. 4.
Cool.
So we are only 6 venom hits away from being turned into a zombie, but that's if we don't get hit 3 times in the meantime. And there's my zombie crocodile.
There it is. So we've basically been zombie crocodile has seen the rest of the crocodiles getting absolutely smashed in, and now is basically like, right, lads,
had enough of this.
Calm down.
Yeah,
I'll go and deal with it.
Yeah, it's kind of the big brother of the
Great.
of the pack. So he deals venom damage. So chances are that we'll be turned into a zombie.
Good.
He deals 2 wounds on a successful hit, so we basically have 1 chance to get him here, and 1 to 3 venom damage per melee round. So it'll be a tough race to see whether we just die or we are turned into a zombie.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
I mean, I don't know what I should be rooting for now. Like, should I be rooting for zombie? Because I guess we're still living.
Roll a 3 to succeed.
We're not living well.
But of course, he has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smashing. Yeah.
So so we successfully attacked there, but he has 3 armor. So his its armor blocked our flames convincingly.
Yep.
Because we then moved into melee range, we took 3.
Oh,
yeah, so obviously it deals 1 to 3 venom damage, and we would.
And this
naturally
isn't
take
even
3.
the boss.
No. This
is the first round of 3.
Yes.
This is why we shouldn't have done hard mode.
So perhaps in retrospect. So he rolls a 7. We need to roll 11 to succeed, and we don't.
Don't do it. Yes, good.
So
what?
we're down to 1 wounds, 2 damage. God, this has gone just catastrophically. So we'll take 1 final swing with the katana.
Here we go.
And he rolls a snake eyes, so it's looking good.
And he doesn't like that because he's a crocodile. There we are. Is that in?
So we've weakened his armor again, so we need to hope for something that good
yeah.
again.
Okay.
And given the brutal nature of this game,
we could do it. Let's do it.
No, let's not bother do it. No, I decided that was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. And we're done.
Yeah, so we got a score of 2,000. Not sure how that was worked out, but yeah, it took us 37 minutes. We killed 26 monsters, we explored 1 temple, took all of our 16 wounds. Apparently we fought well, but Darkness and its allies proved too strong for even us.
Even us.
Yeah. I would probably argue with the fact that we fought well.
Yeah,
but
I think we fought okay.
Yeah.
At best. Yeah. Another poem from our haiku competition. Let's go with this. Well, what shall we go with? Something a little bit bleak. So David Gallego, or Gallego? There we are.
Gallego, possibly?
Gallego?
I think he might be Spanish.
Cool name. Blood and viscera smells like home at midnight. My foe is my life.
Oh.
I think that works well for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. What a time to that was a perfect time to deliver that. Very apt haiku.
Absolutely. So, what should we do? Should we restart on this level, or should we restart on easier?
Should we take an easier run and
should we just go a slightly easier route?
Okay.
All right, let's do that for the remainder of the stream. We've got about another 10 or 11 minutes left on the stream. We stream every Friday, 4:30 until 5:30 UK time. So make sure that you hit that follow button right there on Twitch if you want to see, I would say, people who are pretty good at the games that they make.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tough game that we made.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's known for that. So, I mean, this as a perfect demonstration of that. So we've rolled some pretty good stats. We've got 18 wounds, 18 resistance to venom and radiation. Our melee is again quite strong. Our range could be better, but that's okay. And our reflex is 11, which I think was the same last time. But we only have 4 equipment points to spend this time.
Great. Are we on hard or easy?
We're on easy this time, just so we can kind of show off some of the weaponry and that kind of thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Our special ability this time is navigation, so we have an excellent sense of direction, which we
Yeah.
clearly didn't last time.
Yeah, that's true.
Reduce the number of cards in each deck by 5.
That's good.
Yes, that
I
is
like that.
pretty good. So I think we'll take another hand-to-hand, and this time, now that we can choose what we've got, I definitely want the chainsaw because we didn't have that last time and it showed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the stun knucks, which I really like. It's an evolutionary step up from knuckle dusters. The stun knucks carry a powerful electronic charge which can incapacitate living targets. So any wildlife that you come across, so jaguars, crocodiles, you get +4 hand-to-hand.
That's good.
And any so the cultists and the lookouts and that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So we definitely take those.
But zombies are like.
Zombies
like whatever.
pretty dead.
Whatever, mate.
Yeah, but we've got the chainsaw.
Yeah. So we're actually getting to choose what we take in, aren't we?
Exactly. Yeah. So we could take a gun, which would take up 2 of our equipment slots, and then we've got 1 more for a device or a piece of armor. We could take a heavy weapon and just try and blast our way through, but as you can see, the ammo count for heavy weaponry is much lower.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll probably do with the automatic rifle, you get it ignores 1 point of armor, so it has armor piercing 1 and also marksmanship +1.
Nice. Now, one of the things Phenom on 6 says we should take the chainsaw.
We should definitely
take the chainsaw.
As you can see, we've got that one there. Yeah, definitely. There are actually there's a few chainsaw upgrades that you can get. So if you play through the game, you beat it on the different difficulties and that kind of thing, you can get a bunch of these rad chainsaws, which will aid you in your rending.
Yeah, your rending. rending is the word of the day, basically. I think.
Yes.
Certainly the word of the game. Grey matter blossoms, limbs drifting like autumn leaves. Chainsaw Warrior. Nice one, Brian Sinclair.
Grey matter blossoms. That's really, it's really quite evocative, isn't it?
It is quite evocative of a brain exploding. Yeah, but like a nice, gentle way of saying it.
Yeah.
a way that you could say it in maybe a greeting card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think for our final piece of equipment on this run, I'm going to take the CATS because it's the computer-aided targeting system. It's not, unfortunately, a bag of cats on your shoulder.
Oh man!
Which would have been rad and obviously would have helped us massively with the Jaguars.
Yeah,
but,
that would be great.
But to most non-heavy, it can be attached to most non-heavy guns and provides +2 marksmanship.
Yep.
While using that gun, so we'll equip that. And then that's our 4 equipment points spent up. We'll attach that to the automatic rifle. And yeah, we went through this cutscene in the previous run through, which wasn't very successful. So yeah, we will skip through it this time. But if you haven't seen it, if you've just joined us in the stream and haven't seen it, then be sure to grab the game and you can browse it at your own content.
Absolutely. You can, by the way, you can click out on any of the little links that we've got at the bottom of the screen if you're watching this on the main web version of Twitch. I think if you've got the little app version as well, I think they appear somewhere on the screen as well. So you can tap out onto those, go and see all the fun things that we've been making. So yeah, there's Chainsaw Warrior, there's Last Days of Old Earth. We're currently working on Dark Future, which is very exciting. It's another Games Workshop title. So if you've played this already and you're like, oh, this was good, then look forward to Dark Future. You can click out from here after the stream, of course, okay. And go find out all the information about that, the game that we're working on at the moment. It's really exciting.
It is indeed, yeah.
It's really exciting.
There's a lot of enthusiasm for the Dark Future project that we've got on, and it's now coming into the stage where we're able to share a little bit more kind of behind the scenes stuff with you. So we've recently put out a few GIFs and videos from the development of that. It's all very much early, so kind of pre-alpha footage, but yeah, it's very exciting. If you haven't checked that out, then it's all on our social feeds, twitter.com/Auroch Digital and facebook.com/Auroch Digital. So zombie is naturally the first enemy we fight on this deck,
nice.
And because I missed it so badly the last run through, we're going to
just Chainsaw Warrior it up.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly. He'll just cast straight through that, no roll required.
It's true. Now, obviously, if you have just joined us, you're coming towards the end of the stream, get involved in the chat. We're going to be giving away 1 Steam code for Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night to 1 random lucky winner who gets involved in the chat. Our lovely, beautiful, wonderful community there. We'll chuck it into the Comptron 3000 in just about 2 or 3 minutes' time. So get involved, say hello, all that sort of good stuff, and make sure that you are following us on Twitch as well, because we need to be able to drop you a little line about how giving away the code and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and it also keeps you notified. We will be doing this stream every Friday from 4:30 UK time, but if you forget that, then it's a nice little reminder.
Yep.
So yeah, let's push on. So
Walk into Minds.
Naturally, yeah, that great sense of direction isn't helping us much this time.
Well, I'm going to read out a couple more poems, I think, because there were so many brilliant entries into our competition that we ran over the last couple of weeks. This is one of my favourites, actually. This is from William Poag, who writes, "Elevator slime, laser lance, don't let me down, snake eyes, I am dead." That is absolutely fantastic. I thought that was really, really brilliant.
Are we going to learn from our previous mistakes and skip this temple?
No.
Good.
We don't learn from our mistakes.
Correct
That's
answer.
what makes us.
Okay.
That's what makes us completely infallible.
Okay, so we've got a suicide cultist. A cultist leaps from his hiding place, strapped with plastic explosives. We'll only get 1 chance to shoot him. So his reflexes are 10. Our marksmanship is 9. However, we do have our handy cats on our automatic rifle.
Nice.
So that which gives us +1 marksmanship just for the gun, plus the 2. So we have 12 effectively.
Right.
So we should be short of a ridiculous roll. So we need to roll 4. Bang, he is dead, and we are blessed.
Nightbite says, "I'm a huge Dark Future addict. Have been since it came out from Games Workshop. Had that White Line fever, beautiful, and all the White Dwarf articles, and been keeping up with what we've been up to with Dark Future, which is quite lovely."
Great.
And Core 3001 says, "Unlike Chainsaw Warrior, Dark Future isn't going to be like the board game. No, absolutely right. It takes its inspiration, certainly. Like, it's not we've not made a match 3 puzzle game.
Yes.
Although obviously I would love to make a match 3 but no, we've not made that. We've made a strategic and action based vehicle combat game. So it's not quite. It's not the board game. It's not that, but it's an adaptation of it. It takes that world and that universe and does different things with it. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll be showing a fair chunk of it in the not too distant future. Right.
It definitely still has the. It still retains elements of the kind of turn-based. Aspects of it. It's not strictly a turn-based game, but what we're calling it a real-time shift action.
Real-time shift vehicular action strategy.
There's a mouthful.
There it is.
That'll be fun to share on Twitter. We'll have one.
You're always browsing that genre on Steam. But I'm going to read out the winner of the poetry competition that we ran on ChainsawWarrior.net's blog, and the winner was De Selby, which I gather is a pen name.
It's a pseudonym.
De Selby. And De Selby, the title was Shorter by a Head. So then we got a title on this one, which is quite good.
Nice. Verbose
poet meets Chainsaw Warrior and gets abbreviated.
Nice. Yeah, I think the reason that we picked that one for the winner is it was really kind of self-referential. It really it really embraced the idea, like the kind of ideology of haiku.
Also, I've never been more scared of the word abbreviated.
Yeah.
That's a horrible use of it. It's beautiful. It's like, oh, you don't want to mess with me, mate. I'm going to abbreviate you. That's horrid, but brilliant. So congratulations to Selby. We've already sent out your fantastic prize, but we've got another prize that we need to give away. We absolutely must give away. So what I will do is I'm going to grab all of these amazing, lovely, beautiful people who are in the chat. I'm going to grab your names now, chuck them into the Comptron 3000 whilst the brass pipes heat up, and we'll get those in there, and we'll choose a winner. So you carry on with the murdering of the zombies.
Yeah. So I think this probably demonstrates kind of the difference between classic mode, which sort of tried to emulate the difficulty of the board game, compared to easy, where I haven't taken a hit yet. We're only 7 minutes in and 7 cards in. So yeah, it's going a lot more successfully this time.
So okay, the Comptron 3000 is up and running. The steam's coming out, as you can see. Red flashing lights. There's a bell. Can't hear the bell. Okay, I'm getting a printout now, and it looks like it's Nightbites.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him or her. Nightbites, congratulations to you.
Sorry, I should.
It's
don't
true.
know why I assumed.
Dark Future fans are beautiful and wonderful and lovely, and so I'm very glad that person has won. So, Nightbites, what we're going to do is, if you make sure that you are following us here on Twitch, and obviously if you're watching this now, you should be following us on Twitch. But yeah, we'll send you a message with your code for Chainsaw Warrior Lords of the Night.
Absolutely.
And so if you have already played it, then feel free to pass it on to a friend. And if you haven't, then you'll look forward to playing it, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, say look forward to it. It's look forward to getting absolutely obliterated.
Absolutely obliterated. And if you can do better, then tweet at us. If you can get to darkness, then do let us know. And Jake will feel massively ashamed that he was not able to get to darkness on the stream.
Yeah, it's not like I spent months and months playing this game, trying to learn the
I
intricacies.
dread to think what your Steam account on this game must be.
Yeah.
It must be massive.
Yeah. We won't go into that.
We won't go into that. Brilliant stuff. All right, well, as we get an airdrop and the thought of hope of maybe we'll get through this, we'll probably leave that there. Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Make sure you hit follow, obviously, twitter.com/Auroch Digital, facebook.com/Auroch Digital. There's all sorts of links below that you can find that you can click on and go and see all sorts of wonderful things. Check out Dark Future stuff. We'll be talking about that soon enough. And next week, we'll be doing something fun, and make sure that you follow us on social media / other avenues. We'll tell you somehow what it is that we're actually going to be streaming, but it's not going to be one of our games. We're going to get a special guest in to come and talk about their game. So, from myself and Jake, we will catch you all very soon.
Bid you adieu.
All right then.
Laters.
Goodbye.